Hello, everybody. Welcome back once again. Yesterday we had a race, and today we came back to you again for some more racing. This time, it's not BTCC, it's a brand new series, a GT3 LMP. Yesterday I was asking about pit stops, so today we should be having a lot of pit stops, I believe, for many drivers. And it's going to be a fun race. I'm joined today by Lorenzo, Ricardo, and Samir directing the race. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello everyone, and welcome once again.
And indeed, it looks like we missed the qualifying due to some technical issues, but luckily, hopefully, just in time. And yeah, let's see what Daytona is going to bring to us in this race. Obviously, we have a lot of drivers, I believe about 19 or 20. We have a lot of LMP2s and a lot of GT3, a lot of familiar names. If you've been with us, you're going to get familiarized with them. So let's see what this series is going to bring to us. And indeed, we see people are preparing, or I think have we started yet? And it seems like we are in the race, so we actually missed it up by a bit. Or it is starting. I just got corrected.
Formation.
It is a formation lap indeed. So, yeah, we're lucky today, Ricardo, aren't we?
Yeah, we're lucky. Fun track to see some overtakes due to the long straights. So probably everyone's on the Le Mans aero package. Quite surely everyone's on the Le Mans aero package. Remember that the LMP2 cars have different aero packages. This is good. I think we are going to see a good race. I don't know what the splits and the gaps are, but we know that we have 6 LMP2s and 16 GT3 cars. So a bit. I was expecting more LMP2 drivers, but still, I think we're gonna see a fun race.
I'm gonna bet on that indeed. We're gonna definitely see a beautiful race. I think with the names we have, it's gonna be interesting because it's hard to guess who's gonna be at the top, who's gonna be the victorious today. Because we got names like Andrew Harper, who we haven't seen before in the series we streamed, like BTCC. So it's good to see him again. The Silva as well, Phil
I think we
Brown, and
saw Harper in the GT series. Mark
probably, but we have.
Heidfeld is still in the BTCC.
Yes, we've seen them. We've seen Cartwright in the BTCC, if I remember. Was it Cartwright? I believe it was. Yes,
Yeah, sure.
we have Nick Newcomb, who is the pole starter for the GT3.
Yeah, as we speak now, so I think that the LMP2 car just started their race with Tanner Selby
Yeah,
pushing instantly.
weird race start because the
On the
back
straight end.
markers of the LMP2s look to be sleeping at the start as Tony Talvici and Tanner Selby lead the field. GT3s are starting right now as we speak.
And Selby with an amazing overtake on the outside of the first corner, which is probably the most difficult braking on the track. So amazing job by Tony Selby. Let's see if he can push and try to open the gap to Tony Salvici. We know that Tony is probably one of the fastest driver of SRO, closely followed by Lewis Middleton. Lewis Middleton, we saw him very comfortable with the LMP2 cars. Am I wrong, guys?
Absolutely, and it's no surprise to see him perform very well today.
Yeah, and as I was speaking, he probably made a mistake because I see that it's not anymore in P3, but it's in P6. So sorry, Lewis. Data curses continues.
As always. But a familiar name that I'm seeing here is Manuel Esteves, friend we
Manuel
used to ride.
Estes, a friend of ours from the early R Factor 1 days, making his first appearance under the Falcon Holics name in R Factor 2. Look at that.
Oh, absolutely. You'll love to see that. Hopefully, he's happy enough when he sees himself in the TV.
And Selby with the new best lap of the race. Of course, we know Selby is the leader, so that's pretty common sight.
Absolutely, and we're seeing Nick Newcomb leading the group and the very close pack of the GT3 cars. Strange choice of car by Nick Newcomb. He chose the Porsche, which we know is kind of difficult car to drive due to the back engine. Engine placed to the back. As we speak, we are looking at Tony try to hunt down on Tanner Selby. What do you think, guys? Would you like to drive the Porsche as Nick Newcomb? I mean, Newcomb seems to have. Ooh,
Look at that.
as I speak.
Things are starting to heat up in the GT3 field. New names also, as we are watching the Ferrari 488 of Paolo Tempera with probably some. It looks to be damage on the front. Am I wrong, guys?
No, I think it's just a bug from
Oh.
livery, maybe. I don't know.
That looks weird, but however, this a couple of new names on the GT3 field, as well as some names that we saw in the BTCC series. Cartwright being the first one that I saw. Gutierrez in second place, incredibly close to Newcomb. That is going to be a hell of a fight.
And a bunch of new names, because I don't remember commenting on Tempera, Rizzo, Graf, Cogolo.
Yeah, these are all new names, and it's so good to see all new names already in a competitive position, because Graf, Rizzo, and Tempera are respectively P3, 4, and 5, and all very close together, as we see the GT3 field quite bunched up compared to the LMP2s. Of course, we know prototypes are trickier to drive, generally speaking.
And it's good
Roberto
to see
Baldi. Weird to see Roberto Baldi that way behind in P19.
Yeah, absolutely. And sorry to cut you off there, but I was thinking that unlike we saw from other series like the GTE, where the Porsche was the dominant car, we have 4 different cars in the first 5 places, because we have the Porsche.
I'm looking to the inside of Airport.
A touch.
Contact there.
A bit of incomprehension there, but Middleton is really pushing.
And already the LMP2s are catching the back markers of the GT3 field, so look at the speed from the LMP2s.
Robin Taylor, man we know well by the BTCC championship. I think they are ready into the pack of the GT3s, probably because the GT3s get some gap before the start. The pack didn't start altogether.
Who was that? That's Martin.
Martin,
yes. What happened to Martin? He was around in turn 1, maybe a contact with one of the prototypes lapping the Ferrari there. Not sure what happened. We kind of missed it.
No, I don't think.
John Martin, and another new name. Shame to see him fall back to P22 after what looked to be a good start.
But it seems like Gutierrez this time decided to go for the GT3, because we normally see him in the LMP class, don't we?
That's actually not true, because if you remember correctly, he was the winner in the GT field in the last IMSA series on the BMW M4. So we have seen him drive the LMP once back in the day, as Martin unfortunately had to retire, probably due to terminal damage.
I don't know. In my mind, it's just I'm usually.
Gutierrez has got a real run now on Nick Newcomb. He got out of the bus stop chicane very quickly indeed, compared to the Porsche in front of him. There we see the leader in the LMP2 class, Tanner Selby, going by.
Tanner Selby is doing a very, very good job, because he's already pulled out a 2.5-second gap. 2.5-second gap on Tony Salvice. So probably found something.
And Tony is gonna have to be careful to the Aston Martin. I think there might have been contact there between Graf and Tony Salvice.
I mean, we got a yellow, so probably that
Yeah,
happened.
Graf falling back in the order as we speak.
Salviccio losing position to Morris, so
Yes, I
probably a
think
bit of
Graf
contact.
and Talviti. Graf was on the inside and probably went a bit wide or oversteered into the first part of the horseshoe here at Daytona and probably collected damage from the contact. Graf now down to P17, which is P10 in GT class. As not to mention, look at Manuel Esteves on the Ferrari, up into P9 in GT3 class. That's quite the provisional position.
I mean, it is a statement to prove because we know Manuel Estevez has been practicing and practicing a lot since a long time ago, trying to make his skills and make them show up and prove that he is a driver worthy of racing. And I think this is a great start for him.
It is, and let's see how he does on Pasha Patterson, which is yet another new name. Such a cool way of starting off a championship with all these attendance and new names. Of course, guys, we do have a few spots on the field left, free. So if you want to join, just look up for SimRacingOnline and join us.
Indeed, Gutierrez has been stalking Nick Newcomb. He's not letting him get away of his sight. And this is an hour and 20-minute race where, I mean, we passed 10 minutes, so we're in an hour and 20 minute now. So it's going to be a long race of stalking and staying behind. I wonder when the strategy is going to kick in and how that's going to shake up the field.
That is a good question, and also I noticed how Selby maximized the timing on while lapping the GT cars, and look at the gap that he now has on Morris. Of course, Talvitia was in second place, but he fell back after that contact with the Aston Martin of Graf. But Selby now almost 10 seconds clear from everybody else.
He is, but it's a long race. And as we see Talviti getting that split stream.
Talvitia with a huge slipstream, and you should make the move stick. They are side by side. Tony Talvice gets the move done, moves
Yeah,
up
but
into second place, but Paul Morris will want to have something to do about that.
indeed, he's
Uh,
right behind him. Look at that. As we see those sparks.
yeah, the floor of the prototypes scraping the surface of the speedway. It's so common to see these cars, uh, touch the floor. They do have regulations in real life about how much wear you can have on the floor. As we got a yellow flag in sector 2.
I'm not sure what that is, but
Not sure why that is, but
Robin Taylor DNF'd,
oh,
wow.
Robin
so probably
Taylor,
that was the yellow flag.
he was all the way back into P21, so probably some early damage at the start. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, as we speak, Johnny Gutierrez is now trying to put in pressure over Nick Newcomb, which is, I think, the only one who chose the Porsche. We got three different cars in the first three places, so that's good to see, isn't it, guys?
That's great, and that's also unusual. I don't remember seeing the Porsche and the Mercedes hitting a GT field here on our Factor 2 for a
Yeah,
very long
probably
time.
probably due to the change of the BOP from the
Yeah,
last update.
and
Remember that
I
before.
also noticed that Johnny Gutierrez has a lot of acceleration out of the corners, whereas Nick looks to have a very light car, so it's very slippery on the straight. I was also noticing, and sorry if I keep talking about this guy, but uh, Manuel Esteves now battling with Kyle Graf, and Esteves
Ooh.
was right behind none other than Barrett Eriksson. So what a start!
It looks like Stevis is now decided to just give that position because he's got a long straight of split stream. Maybe he can use that to his advantage. Let's see.
I would wait after the bus stop because making a move into the chicane is very dangerous indeed. Um, Although the Aston Martin looks to be slightly quicker than the Ferrari, although Manuel did an amazing job at the exit at maintaining his speed. through the Le Mans chicane.
He
Let's see
absolutely
how
did.
this unravels. We're on board with Esteves right now.
I have so many good things to say about Manuel, but I would like not to curse the man because he's getting. Look at that! The Aston is actually pulling away.
Yeah,
Check
the
that.
Aston has a lot of top speed.
Yeah,
Wow.
maybe you're gonna difference into the iron package. I would say maybe Graf has a bit of less swing. Down to the first corner, one of the most difficult breaks, and we see Esteves really on the edge there. The first corner of Daytona is one of the most difficult breaks because you have to brake the car while you're steering on the left because of the strange conformation of that corner. So it's going to be tough to keep mastering it throughout all the race. That braking, as we speak, Paulo Tempera joined the fight for the first place, and it's now really, really close to Johnny Gutierrez. Probably Nick Newcomb right now is maybe blocking a bit the guys behind him, and with the draft game in Daytona, it's really, really easy to follow one another.
And this is something that kind of, it keeps happening in racing and sim racing as well. You might have a car that works better in the corners, but in a track like this, at Daytona, if you are slightly faster on the straight, you can very easily protect yourself. And that is what's happening, I think, with Nick Newcomb and Johnny Gutierrez. As we see the Mercedes now closing up a lot on the Porsche. Johnny had an amazing run after the chicane, but I think Nick might just cover it up. Look
He
at the
might.
Porsche just stretching the gap as we go into the tri-oval.
This has
Not
been
much of
happening for a long time. Sorry to cut you there, Ricardo. It's been happening a
Ooh,
long time. This. Look at that. He's so itchy to take that position, isn't he?
absolutely, but he might just have enough speed to try and force a move into the second part of the horseshoe. Let's see what happens. Johnny looks to the inside, but Nick takes a conservative line and is able to cut Johnny off for yet another lap.
I think he
And
should. I think you should be concerned about Paulo because he's watching there and expecting a carnage to start out of nowhere, so he can take those two free position on a golden plate.
Yeah, I don't know about that now because looking, it's like Paulo Tempera is able to close the gap when Johnny
ooh,
and Nick Newcomb are fighting
it's getting very
like
close
like
indeed,
this,
guys.
but it feels like the Ferrari doesn't have that top speed because look at how much he loses down the straight.
Yeah,
Even
with
if he has the double draft from Nick and Johnny Gutierrez,
Sorry,
he
sorry
still
to
have.
cut you off there, Ricardo, but Graf is literally on the tail of Barrett Ericsson. That's a fight for P8 in class. A very interesting fight indeed, because Graf, of course, was involved in a contact with one of the LMP2s, as we now see Johnny Gutierrez being a bit closer than he was one lap ago to Johnny Gutierrez. They're literally bump and drafting on the speedway. There we see Kyle Graf and Barrett Ericsson cutting the chicane there. He does not want to do that again, or the stewards will have a look at that. Johnny Gutierrez less than 2/10 of a second behind the Porsche now, but still not able to find a way past Nick Newcomb.
Still,
Ooh,
ooh,
Johnny Gutierrez forcing a move to the inside, but Nick Newcomb tries to hold and is
I think
unsuccessful. Paulo Tempera is there to pick up the pieces and moves into second place. I spoke too early.
I mean,
There,
he could have heard you and was like, you know what, Lorenzo, I got you this time. I got the position, and indeed he did. But
that's a typical GT overtake. I mean, okay, please. I ask you twice if you can please move. The third one, I'll make you move.
yes, but let's be aware that Nick Newcomb has the split stream of Paulo, so he didn't fall behind, but he definitely lost two positions.
And now we have to see if Johnny has the pace to pull away from the pack, or with the draft game, mm, he will be suffering the same problems of Nick Newcomb. So now he has to defend, as the LMP2 pack is quite spread, to be honest,
yeah,
with
but I
Salvi.
was noticing that Talvice just recorded the best lap of the race. and is gaining a lot of time on Selby. Not sure if Selby is playing the long game and is preserving tires and fuel, but Tony gained 1.5 seconds almost last time around, and I wonder if he's gonna keep doing that and progressively cut the gap down from the almost 9 seconds that it is now towards Tanner Selby.
I'm just delighted to see Selvi and the Talviti in the same racetrack, same series, because it's given me the flashbacks of what we saw before. I'm sure enough we saw them fighting somewhere else, probably in a GT or an LMP, but those two names together, I think that if Talviti manages to squeeze more times and get closer and closer, maybe we'll see a great fight ahead of us.
As we see the rookie, one of the rookies of the series, Filippo Cogolo. I hope I pronounced your name correctly there, Filippo, but battling against one of the very few BMWs that we have on track today. That's a very weird.
And
BMW
the
used to
DNF,
be the meta car,
the
and
DNF, Lorenzo.
It's
Rizzo
even
from a very good 6th place.
What happened though?
I have no idea.
I know
That
it was fourth
sudden.
place. It was in fourth place, and he was fighting for the lead because it was like 8 tenths from Nick Newcomb.
That's true. That's true.
That's
But what happened?
that's a bad
Probably
moment. That's a
connection
bad moment.
issues because he didn't stop on the
No,
track. It was a sudden DNF.
That's weird.
Weird, very weird.
Okay,
I was saying,
1 second clear from Paulo Tempera now.
Indeed. Maybe Nick Newcomb now is getting the same problem Gutierrez was in. He's got traffic ahead of him. He's got Paulo he needs to get rid of if he wants to catch to Gutierrez.
I repeat, Paulo Tempera's Ferrari seems to be struggling on the straight. Look at Newcomb. Look how much he gained on the straight.
That is true. He just
Look
passed
at
him like
Tempera's car.
he didn't even
before the braking zone. Ooh,
Yeah,
but
it's
Tempera
flashing.
off very cool. Tempera with a just on the edge of his seat there, and Newcomb not happy about Paulo's movements in the car.
No, I think he's been flashing his light the whole time. I don't know if he's using it to distract. I think it's allowed.
Oh yes, as
And
Lewis Middleton on the
making a move on
outside.
Paul Morris. And things are starting to unravel as we get a yellow flag in Sector 1. Not sure why that is, but...
And sorry to cut you off there, Lawrence, but it's even strange to see the McLarens struggling that much. You know, the McLaren before the PLP was the car to beat almost in the GT3 class, and now all the McLarens are on the backfield. So strange, very strange how the PLP changed on their factory doers.
Oh, and Patterson making a mistake into the horseshoe. He needs to be careful. As we speak, guys, Graf is continuing his Tada, because he's now P7, and battling with John Vidiguest, a guy which we haven't named once yet in the race. He has been quiet in his 6th position there in the Aston Martin.
As we speak, Johnny Gutierrez seems really to have the upper end on the GT3 class because he's now opening the gap a lot with Tempera, as Nick Newcomb lost 1.7 seconds. Maybe a mistake from Nick because he lost a lot of time there.
Yeah, probably a traffic, or maybe he was getting lapped by one of the prototypes. As we see Morris and Middleton making their way past Manuel Esteves. Esteves currently P10 in class, getting a bit scared seeing the prototypes lap him there. A bit of inexperience.
Lewis Middleton. Check this out, Lorenzo.
On the outside, on the tri-oval, that's tricky. Under braking, makes the move stick though. Good move there by Lewis.
Absolutely, he manages to make it stick out, and I think Paul Morris is not over yet with that, but not enough room to stay there. Is there? It's far from over. Look at him. He's back again from the inside. It didn't seem to stick this time, but he's not far from over. He's probably going to try to lunge him here. I don't know if that's going to be a good idea, because we got traffic. Ooh, roll spins out. A roll spin.
Yeah, probably due to the braking. That seemed to be. It seemed like he had locked the brakes. Um, Remember that LMP2 cars have brake bias really moved to the back, to the rear. Sorry. So probably he locked a bit and he lost the car under braking, which is quite usual for LMP2 class. And Tony is not being really lucky with the lap car because he was gaining and now he lost another 2 seconds, I think, from Tanner Selby. So a bit unlucky probably with the lap cars.
I think that what happened is just he was braking and turning in, and probably the split stream created by I believe who was ahead? Middleton. Yeah, created by Middleton just made more spins out, and it's just very unfortunate. But he hasn't
Maybe.
lost much time. He's about 5.7, and he's building up that time so quickly down to 4.5 right now. And Hopper and Mark Hightree, are also
Yeah,
within
because
target as Lewis Middleton makes his way through traffic.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's
he probably
dangerous though, because Kyle Graf just conceded enough space to the prototype to pass. Of course, Kyle Graf very close with John Villegas and Filippo Cogolo. That's the battle for P5 effectively in GT3.
I
Morris is
mean,
gaining even because Middleton was is under traffic so he has traffic all around. So probably we are gonna see the gap between the two guys reopen again when Paul Morris, which is quite more lucky than Lewis Middleton because he will find the lap cars on the straight, so it will be easier for him to lap them. I
I
mean,
think it was understandable, Ricardo, from Middleton to rush because he sees. Look at Morris manages to take out four, I think 3 or 2 seconds. Yeah, 2 seconds, and is getting closer and closer. So Middleton is feeling the urge to clear the traffic as fast as possible before
absolutely, and just because
Morris
of the
reaches it.
traffic. So that's quite that's a fundamental part of endurance races, where and how you get to lap or to be lapped. If you're lucky, then you can gain on your opponents a lot of time. If you're not, well, it happens like it happened to Lewis Middleton, which lost 2 seconds just because he got the lapped cars in the first sector, the most difficult one to lap in cars, and Middleton and Morris instead got the lapped cars on the straight on the banks. So that's quite a fundamental part of endurance races. You have to deal with that. Maybe one time you are lucky, and the other time it's my turn to be lucky.
Well, Jean Villegas is trying to stay with Filippo Cogolo as he traffic once again with Mark
Ooh,
Hightree. Very
whoa,
tight
what?
indeed. Wow, taking the runway to
Just
the
Oh,
lucky there
wall.
into the wall.
That was probably just a memory mistake. He thought the track went that
yeah,
way,
it
and
seemed like
he just
very very unusual mistake. Yeah, he probably misjudged the corner. That's the only thing I can think of as Kyle
Yeah,
Graf
Kyle Graf.
taking advantage from that.
yes. It seems like
John Villegas was caught out by the LMP2 crashing in front of him and probably slowed down by a huge amount. And Kyle Graf is now able to rejoin the battle effectively for P5 in class. Although these guys need to work together to try and
Sorry.
catch the top four, because Team Cartwright is almost 8 seconds clear of this three-way battle in GT3.
I don't know. I think it's like Mark Hightree was probably listening to "I'll See You Again" and decided to take the other way. Probably, I don't know.
As we
He
got a
was.
yellow flag in sector one, Paul Morris had a spin.
Oh. That's the second time. That is
Yeah,
the second time.
I think he might be out of the race.
I don't know. It looks like he's going in. Probably got some damage. I don't know what happened exactly, but maybe he touched the wall. Hopefully he's okay. But that is the second time, Lorenzo. It's just I don't know what's going on with his car.
Absolutely, as I'd like to
Graf,
stick with
Graf
Graf.
has
Graf
got by Filippo Cogolo as we speak.
No, wait, Kogel was in front of Vidi Guest and Graf both. So Graf and Vidi Guest moved through
Made
Filippo
the move
Kogolo.
stick as Mark Heitry is the first car to go into the pit lane. Of course, he was the last car in the LMP2 field as Kogolo puts some dirt on his tires, gets away with it.
I think somebody should clip the Mark High tree going sideways.
Yeah, that was not quite as I believe. It was more like a kamikaze move.
And
Or something like
must have caused big damage to the LMP2 as we see the helmet cam from Roberto Baldi chasing Manuel Esteves for P9 in GT3 class.
Night races proves to be very fun because I'm sure Daytona is very lit, so the vision isn't much of a problem, but the lights makes it look spectacular. And Manuel Esteves, I'm just gonna say it. I mean, screw the curse. His driving is very smooth. I'm gonna say it. I'm sorry, guys. His driving is very smooth. I like it. I'm in love because the truth is, I'm not trying to be biased, but we've been practicing for a while, and to see him improve with such an amazing improvement. I mean, I don't know if he's using a wheel right now or still on a gamepad, but
but we got Nick Newcomb on the tail of Paulo Tempera 3/10. So Newcomb has closed the gap again against Paulo Tempera, which
and Tempera losing time there because he had to go wide. Newcomb tried to force a move on the inside, but he was too far back, and that's, Nick Newcomb smartly moving out of the inside line that he was going to take into turn 6, I believe.
And Kogolo made a mistake. Kogolo losing a place again because he's now behind Barrett Erickson. So he lost another place. So probably a bit of a mistake as Bali is now trying to find his way away from Manuel Esteves, but it's quite difficult to get the draft on the GT3. Seems that the GT3 does not have that much of draft effort, which is quite strange as I speak. In fact, we see that Bali is braking on the Le Mans and Manuel Esteves. So Nas, you said that he was driving smoothly, so that's one on you.
I had to. I knew my curse was gonna kick in once in a while because he's been doing. It's just, I'm starting like I know it's a joke, but I'm starting to believe it's real. Look at this. Isn't this the proof? Somebody tell me this is the proof. Like, I felt it was gonna happen, but I said it anyway because I had to praise the man. He's actually doing a great job improving.
Absolutely, and Nick Newcomb is now trying everything to get the place over Paulo Tempera, which is made very good defense right now because it seems that he's not feeling the pressure from Nick. He's doing a good job. What do you think?
I think he's doing an awesome job if we keep in mind that the race still has about 59 minutes to go. So there's strategy that's gonna kick in soon. Besides Hightree, who had to pit because he had, I believe, damage. But if I'm not mistaken, there's no pit window, so you're free to pit whenever you want. Isn't that correct?
To be correct, we should not have any pit window. But I think that we're going to see the LMP2 cars stopping before the GT3 cars, just because the LMP2 cars have a smaller tank. So probably we are going to see.
Well, it seems like an LMP car can last only 35 minutes. So yeah. That means about 2 pit stops, if I'm not mistaken, as we see Morris in the pit. Exactly. That is true, Ricardo. He is in the pit.
That is a bit before, Maybe someone is trying to do lift and coast to save some fuel, but yeah, the time is almost right. Probably he had some damage due to the mistakes he made, and Kyle Graf still trying to find a way past John Vidi Guest, which is it seems like we are seeing the same battle going on between Newcomb and Tempera, and the battle that was between Bali and Esteves before. And Kogolo
Colo was on the
tackling
inside.
now on Barrett Erickson. Great defense there by Barrett. Let's see, Kogolo probably going to under over. Let's see if he can pull that. No, because Barrett's defending very well. But seems that Kogolo's quite fast, quite quicker than Barrett. Let's see if he can do it on the banks. Probably Barrett had a better exit there.
Well, it seems like the back of the Filippo car just kicks in right at the exit, or I wouldn't say the exit, or the last part of the
Look at
exit.
Graf. Less than 1/10 from John Vitigas. Probably is gonna go on the outside as Vitigas defending on the chicane. That you know us that this chicane is now called a double battle. That's what we want to see.
Whoa! Look at the great exit from Filippo now. He's on the right side. They're going side by side all the way to the end.
Yeah, Bird couldn't do anything to defend there. Great move by Filippo, and still we haven't finished because Kyle Graf is now going on the outside, probably a bit too difficult on the first break of Daytona. Let's see if we can pull this off. Great move from Videgast, closing on great move, great defending, but still not finished because Kyle Graf seems to be quicker, and I think it's not going to throw away from the battle that fast as a step. Look at that. That's quite strange behavior from Seibel.
Oh, somebody is pulling out. That's number 3 in the LMP, Lewis Middleton.
Yeah,
oh, okay, that was going to the pit lane. All right. That got me pumped for a second as we go back to Manuel Esteves, who Ricardo mentioned that and he spins again. Actually, I believe they touched. He didn't spin. They touched. Wow, what a fighting soul we've got from Manuel Esteves, not giving up and trying to get back as many positions as we can. But it seems like a touch just couldn't give him that position he was looking for. But he's not that far away. 2.2. I mean, if he's able to overtake Seibel, he's gonna have about 13 seconds to reach Bali. But right now, Graf still behind Videgast, who's doing a great job keeping that Aston behind. They're both driving the same car, so it's going to be tricky down to the setup. Which setup is better, depending on the tire wear as well, because the more the tire wears, the better the setup proves to be if it's good enough and stable enough to keep those tires on the track without spinning out like we see happen before. And yeah, so far, the battle is not far from over, is it, Ricardo?
I don't think it's even nearly close to begin. As only the guys a bit wide there, Kyle Graf able to have a tighter line as John and Middleton overtook Tony Talvice into the pits. So a longer pit for Tony. Maybe some damage, I don't know, but Middleton was able to overtake Tony into the pits. So great strategy from Lewis. And now we have to see how much they are going to gain, if they can gain something, on Tanner Selby. And Lewis is pulling out a very good comeback after the mistake he made.
If I can cut you off, Ricardo, aren't you interested in Tanner Selby? Where is he not come out? Because he's in the pit right now, and Lewis Middleton is getting closer and closer. Tanner Selby is getting out. There you go. That's my answer. He's getting out to Lewis Middleton.
That is a long pit. We know that you have to. I think he gained a lot actually.
He did. And he got a penalty. Ricardo, check this out. A penalty for Tanner Selby, I believe, because he He's speeding in the pit lane. We got an information. Wow, Ricardo.
He took out the pit limiter before.
Wow.
So
After that,
Middleton, with a strategy and a bit of luck, is now virtually leading the race. How much did Salvi gain? Like 20 seconds on the pit stops? I don't know. Maybe he didn't change the
no, he
tires.
was
Maybe
about
just
8 seconds. I think he was about 8 seconds and gained about 20, probably, or
maybe
12.
oh, the only thing I can think about is that he had no damage uh, out of Lewis and Tony, so he was able to not repair the car. And we got a yellow flag in sector 2. Uh,
And Estevez is in the
and
pit lane.
Steves is coming out of the pit a bit earlier for a stop.
I think he just wanted fresh tire to focus on his consistency. As see Tanner Selvi, yeah, going to serve his pit or his penalty. And let's see where this is gonna put him. I believe somewhere because I believe it was a 10-second penalty. Not sure until we get a confirmation. It is a drive-through, from what we understand, and it seems like
Yeah,
this
and
is.
that's very bad news because the pit lane in Daytona is very long,
It is
and Daytona it's an incredibly fast track, so you lose a lot of time.
devastating indeed. He's probably gonna lose, I believe, 2 position. Tony
That's
Talviti now.
Middleton passing by,
Look at Talviti storming his
and
way, not looking back, trying to get that P2 as fast as
it's gonna
possible
be
because
tight. It's gonna be really tight.
I don't think so. I think Talviti is
No,
gonna be
no,
way ahead.
no. My mistake.
But
My
but
mistake. Anyway,
but Ricardo,
and
Talviti has been chasing Sylvie for a long time, and it seems like finally he got what he wanted. All to a mistake, a small mistake. I think, as our director mentioned, Talviti can go and say thank you very much and send him a gift postcard to Middleton. Or I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if Middleton is the responsible one because he didn't do anything. He just took the place as Tony did. But Sinister Sylvie is still serving the penalty, but I believe that's just a glitch as we will refresh the UI. Selby is in P3. He's not far from the leader, but it's
yeah,
still.
judging from the pace, maybe he can make up unless until I think he can catch both.
He probably could, but I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know. We
Because
have to wait and see what happens. But still, amazing strategy by Middleton. Was involved in a couple of problems and a big mistake, and is now leading the race. So correct me if I'm wrong. Everyone's on the Oreca on the LMP2. There's no any leisure actually, which is a bit sad because yeah, we know that the leisure is not fast as the Oreca on the platform. Just stop. And it seems like the GT3 field is a bit spread as Johnny Gutierrez has stopped gaining on Tempera, and actually Tempera is closing a bit the gap between him and Johnny Gutierrez. And Vinigas seems to be able to defend against Graf, and Cartwright silently doing a very good job and putting himself into the 4th place. So
well, Lewis Middleton right now is still leading, but Selvi isn't gaining any time. He's still within 3 seconds behind Talviti. Not sure. He's got about 49 minutes. I don't know if it's enough or not, because Talviti isn't backing down anytime soon, and Selvi has to push his life out and squeeze every bit of performance from the car and the setup he has right now if he wants.
I think we have to wait until the second stop. I think that the LMP2 car has to make another pit stop unless someone is trying desperately to lift and coast and not make the second one, but I think we have to see the second one as Newcomb's suddenly losing from Paulo Tempera. It's now 2.6. And I think that this is the time when the GT3 are starting to. Sorry, I was saying that the GT3 tires are starting to have degradation. So now is the moment where you see, as we speak, in fact, Nick Newcomb in the pits,
Indeed.
probably his tires were too much.
I think it's about time, Ricardo. It's about time to get some fresh new tires and probably go with it all the way till the end. But this is important.
Tries a bit of undercut on the guys in front,
I mean, check
but Johnny
this out,
Gutierrez.
Ricardo. I want you to check this out, Ricardo. Look at that beautiful purple sector set by Gutierrez. He knows Nick Newcomb is his challenger. As the moment he knew he's going for the pit, he decided to pull and do his best lap. So that tells me that he's also ready to get to the pit because he's trying to put the best time and squeeze every bit performance of those tires before they run out of life.
This is the moment you see if the setup and your driving style work correctly, because you are closer and closer to your pit stop. And if you still have tire, as Johnny Gutierrez says, to make the first sector as a purple sector, this means that you are working very, very good. Another purple sector is pulling out the best lap after 45 minutes of the stint. So car works perfectly, seem to be working perfectly for Johnny Gutierrez right now. And let's see if he can close.
Oh, a yellow. We get a yellow, not sure.
Can Gutierrez close the triple purple sector? Absolutely, 145.6. Do we have the camera that not like that much yesterday?
Oh, please, Ricardo.
Let's see if we can have. It's from the hood. You can see on the inside. I think we don't have it actually. Oh,
it's close enough. It's close enough. Let me see the shake-in. I'll judge it. Ricardo. If there's enough shake-in, I think so. Yeah, let's see when he touches the curb right here. I think, yeah, there you go. There you have it. And there you have it, indeed. Beautiful camera. It just makes me feel like I'm watching a YouTube video about to fall asleep. In a good way, because I use these. It's very relaxing for me to watch. Kind of weird. It should be hot action.
We are even watching Johnny Gutierrez driving, so it's a good piece of driving. What you think?
It's absolutely beautiful to watch because we know Gutierrez has been a multiple champion, and he's.
Let's check this out. Tony Salvizia gained 4 seconds on Yannis to 1. Is that a Esteves or Tempera? Seemed like a Ferrari having a problem.
Ooh,
and
probably.
As we're speaking, Tony Salvicci gained 5 seconds on Middleton. So Salvicci now is on.
Esteves is stopped.
Esteves has a problem?
I don't know. He
DNF.
What?
This one's on you now. You said I love watching Esteves. He moved from a mistake to a problem to DNF. So.
Yeah, but that DNF seemed like he probably had some real life stuff and had to stop because it didn't seem like he had any issue at all. He just pulled out and just went back to the pit. He could have run out of fuel. I mean, he could have run out of fuel. That's a possibility. I will check on that in the live racers. Hopefully, tells us something. But that's odd to see.
And as I'm used to say, probably Graf by the end of the race will be able to draw perfectly the back of John Villegas, Aston Martin.
This is absolutely a tricky race for everybody. I'm just happy that Esteves took his first race and it was broadcasted, so it's for the history. But still, hopefully for the next race he learns of what happened because maybe if he could come to the commentary box and talk to us what happened because that was very unusual, I would say, isn't it, Ricardo?
Sorry, yes, I wasn't listening.
I was
Yes,
just
we had a bit of
mentioning the
distraction.
fact that it was odd seeing Estevez just disconnecting and very like unusual way of just pulling out and disconnecting. So it could be fuel, it could be real life stuff, it could be anything. It could be PC was
Yeah.
heating up. It could be anything.
Well, I always hope that is something not too important. I mean, not too something bad. Just a little problem and not a big one. As Kai Graf probably tired to see the back of John with the gas car. Uh, yeah, he has to think about or undercutting or overcutting right now. Probably the undercut will be a bit better, but problem is, especially in endurance races, you can never know when you are going to come out. Uh, when you come out from the pits. If you're unlucky, you come out into the traffic. And Middleton losing P1, so again in P3,
Wow.
probably another mistake. I mean, Tony was gaining a lot on him, but probably made a mistake. Yeah, so we got the information that the last lap was 10 seconds lower from the previous one. So yes, he made a mistake. And that's why it's sad. I wanted to see a bit of a battle between him and Tony. Since we didn't have that much of battles in LMP2, probably Middleton was the most one involving into fights with Paul Morris.
Well, to me, Middleton hasn't lost much because he's just pretty much back where he started. He's now in P3, and that P1 was more of like a present that didn't last too long. I would say it's on him for making that mistake, but it's still the race is still long. You shouldn't start blaming yourself from now on because he's 4 seconds away. It's not like a full lap away. So he's still in the view there. If anything happened, he knows for a fact that he can take it again. And we know for a fact in endurance races, a lot of things happen as we see LMP2 cars making their way through the traffic. And
And Paulo Tempera is now pitting.
I was gonna mention that. Yep.
And so we are gonna see if Nick Newcomb made the right choice by stopping so early.
We haven't seen Gutierrez pitted, have we, Ricardo?
Nick Newcomb is very, very far from Tempera.
His pace didn't seem to be as fast as possible to get him close to Tempera. But let's see where this is gonna put him out.
Is coming to the Le Mans chicane, which, fun fact, the chicane that was before the bus stop has now been renamed as the Le Mans chicane due to the collaboration between the IMSA and the ACO, the ACO, which are the organizers of the 24-hour of Le Mans, and Cartwright, I missed that Cartwright was DNF'd, actually. It was P5 with a good race.
I believe Ricardo.
Did I mention he was doing a good race? Probably yes. So that's another part of the curse, actually.
That might be, but something else that is not part of the curse is Nick Newcomb. He might be just in time.
Yeah, he did.
He did. Look at him.
He gained the place on Paulo Tempera.
He did.
So good choice of strategy by Nick Newcomb, able to undercut Paulo Tempera, but Paulo Tempera is going to have fresher tire at the end. So it will be interesting to see if Nick will be able to spread the gap now to have some fresh air at the end of some room to breathe by the end of the race.
I mean, Nick Newcomb manages to get ahead of Paulo Tempera, so this puts a lot of pressure on Gutierrez because if he sees that Nick now is ahead of Paulo Tampera, who was like 4 seconds ahead of him. So the undercut seems to be working very well now. We
But
will judge it once
remember
we.
that a couple of laps ago, Johnny did the best lap in the GT3 class. So I don't think that Johnny is quite scared by the other one. I don't even know if he knows what strategy his opponents are on. So, and look at the times.
He is
Look
trying.
at
He
the
is
gap,
very consistent indeed. He is very consistent.
and that was the best lap on the GT3 field. So we got the information that he's driving 2 seconds faster than everyone else on the track on used tires. So probably he took the right choice of compound. I don't know if it's on medium or hard tires. So Johnny Gutierrez is on hard tires, and that's probably the reason why he's so constant after 15 minutes of race.
It seems like he is on the hard tires, the hard compound, and maybe the others could have pitted too early, or maybe just we don't know. It's too early to judge now because we need to see what happens to Gutierrez once he pits. But for now, he is still our leader.
Battle between Kyle Graf and John Vidiguest getting another round. Would you like to do the girl that passes with the round board? Yes. If you were every time they cross the line, you cross through the.
I don't know what you're referencing.
You know, in the box, there's like people with board with the round
Yeah.
one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, NASCAR style.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got about 200 laps to go. Good luck. Indeed, I actually would love to do that.
Absolutely, and
As we
high
see
graph
Graf.
now, very close, very close, very close now.
Well,
And so I think because Samir was suggesting Kai Graf after 1 hour just dive bomb. That's probably not what you want to do. But I mean, after 1 hour, yes, that's a possibility if you want to overtake someone.
look how close.
And
They
I
should
think
be side by side.
we are there. I think finally John Graf
He did.
has the chance, and after 1 hour of race, Kai Graf finally able to put John Vidiguest behind him. Probably John was.
He took Sam's advice and decided to just lunge him, and funny enough, it worked. But Vidiguest is still behind. I think he should consider pitting right now.
Yeah, they're lapping very slowly, actually.
Well, since their tank, as I got information, lasts an hour, I don't know how much their tires lasts. Depend on the compound they are, but it seems like the hard tires last very long. As Graf gets the fastest third sector. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Probably.
He got a purple sector. So it seems
let's see now Kai Graf's space, because overcutting like this maybe put him into position. Yellow flag in sector 2. Nothing seen. Probably a GT car. Don't know. Look how quicker Graf was than John Vidiguest. I think that John did the best to keep Graf behind, but at a certain point it was not. And look at the split. Look at the split from Graf.
Yeah.
0.018 behind Johnny Gutierrez's time.
He's very consistent.
He had the pace to at least get the battle for the podium. Oh yeah, a bit slower in the middle sector. Probably now the tires are starting to get a bit old.
It could mean that he's also preparing for his pit as he's trying to push everything and squeeze everything he got. So he probably is.
I think
we were right. Yes.
Pitting. Will John follow him? No, John stays out.
I think that was a mistake. He should have followed him because the undercut proved to be working very well as Gutierrez gets overtaken by Mark Hightree, who is sitting, I believe, in the last position right now. He is. He is at P6, right behind Morris. As flashing lights, a
I
circus of
think
flashing
that
lights. Tanner Selvi wants to get his way in as quickly as possible. Gutierrez flashes his lights back again, saying, "There's the way. Go through. Stop
that was
bothering me."
that was quite useless to flash from Tanner just because I mean there was no problem I think on lapping that car.
I
Um,
think I think he would prefer useless than a crash. So he rather just do it for useless thing, you as you
yeah,
mentioned. But
maybe
at
yes,
least to be
maybe
safe.
yes.
Better be safe than sorry. It seems like our director mentioned that
Right.
Talviti was the last car yesterday on BTCC. Oh, I don't want to curse. I don't want to curse. You say it, Ricardo. Okay, Sam
No,
said it.
you said
It's not
Cyan
me.
said.
It's not. I'm curse free. It was said by the
Yeah,
director.
I
If
think that
anything happened,
one day we are going to invite Sam on jumping into the stream with us. We're talking, so just to prove if the that is unmuting himself. So finally,
I
we
just
can
said
we
Tony
can
Terlicio yesterday was last in B, and now it's B1 leading it just 1 second faster than everybody.
yeah. So
okay.
Tony,
Please.
if you are going to rewatch the stream, you know that if something happens to you, that's on Sam. Uh,
Yes.
let's
Good
hope
luck,
not.
Sam.
Let's not up
It's a break,
clearly,
it's not my
but
fault.
Good luck, Sam. It's like placing a bet. It's literally like placing a bet. Good luck. Good luck on the lottery.
yeah,
Let's see how long Tony's gonna
Don't
last now.
worry, 30 minutes is fine.
yeah,
Lead the race.
absolutely. We
Okay.
hope not, even because we know that Tony is one of the
No,
most unlucky
no, Ricardo.
drivers.
The curse is real. You can't deny it. The curse is real. We've seen it before
Yeah,
and
probably
before
yeah.
and before. You can't deny it.
I
Are
mean,
you a believer?
how many people did we kill today?
Literally took out so many people.
Three people. Three
Yes.
people today. Yeah, but not yeah, Sam, but not all the DNFs are on us. I mean, we never mentioned Rizzo, and Rizzo just retired, or Robin Taylor, and he retired. So that those two are not on us. At least give us that. Um,
Thank you, Ricardo. Thank you for stepping up for me. But still, our curse is real. It depends if you're a believer or a denier. Well, Graf is right behind Nick Newcomb. Unfortunately, we can't see the rest of the field at GT3, but we'll keep you posted on that. And sometimes you will see all the GT3 at once to keep you guys in.
here's your leader of the GT3. Yeah, fun fact that
Wow,
actually I think that the GTD race in Daytona was actually won by a Mercedes. Am I wrong? Yeah, so Mercedes seems to be the car to beat on this track. Not only on the not only on the how can I say on the virtual, but on the real life too. As John Villegas still not beating.
wow,
Uh,
very
this is
interesting. Oh, look, Gutierrez already out. How did he manage to get such a quick?
maybe only fuel. I think
Wow.
he only got on fuel. And Newcomb, look at Nick. Look at
Oh, he's,
Newcomb pushing three
my man
tenths
is
down.
flying.
Johnny Gutierrez time.
He is flying. I don't know if that was a good choice by Gutierrez to not change his starter because his spit was very fast. I would say 30 seconds
It was
minimum.
incredibly fast. He gained how much he gained. I
A
mean, Newcomb
lot.
still haven't finished the lap. It's like he gained one lap.
He is 37 seconds ahead of Graf. And from Nick Newcomb, he's 97. So I believe that's a full lap, if I'm not
Yeah, almost
mistaken.
a full lap. So probably the right choice.
Well, I wonder how much time you need. But why is it saying that Guti is P2? Ah, because VD Guest hasn't pitted. Okay. I got
I think
debated.
John has to beat. John has to beat. I don't think that his tank will last any longer, unless unless I don't know he's doing the lift and coast like crazy, but still.
Still Dr. Dre.
Probably not showing us the same pace he had in Tempera again. Look at Paulo. 4 tenths is down. Johnny Gutierrez lap. So everyone's basically flying right now. Yes, as we were speaking, guys, John Villegas pitted, and I think that Ed Jones still has not pitted yet.
Well, it seems like everybody is getting their teeth out or elbows out, and yeah, everybody is
Absolutely.
just now hunting for whatever left of this race. I think that this is going to be interesting because I don't know. As we see Paul Rhodes going on the
to touch the wall there, a bit of lovely kiss to the wall. And yeah, Tanner Selby didn't show the same pace he had on the first stint, but as Sam said, we are close to the second pit off for the LMP2.
Ricardo, something happened to Gutierrez. Nick Newcomb was 60-second behind Gutierrez, and suddenly now he's okay. So maybe I got mistaken from the overlay because it seemed like I was looking at 60-second, but nonetheless, Nick Newcomb is 43 seconds. You think he stars?
You made me lose like 10 years of life there because I thought, what happened? Nothing. Never do that to me. Never do that to me. Something like that again.
I'm gonna blame it on the livery. It literally. I saw 60-second. I was like, "What the hell?" Because I saw a yellow, and I tried to make a link between what happened and that. But nonetheless, look at that.
The thing is that right now the Pera's flying, and is closing the gap to Nick Newcomb because another pole per sector on the first sector from Paulo Tempera. I don't know what sector Nick Newcomb made actually. But they seem to be on the same pace. Thing is that Newcomb stopped like 7 to 8 minutes, I think, before Pablo.
Yeah, but he's losing time to
it's
Ricardo.
Going to be interesting to
Are
see
you
at
seeing
the end
that?
of the race.
Have you seen that he's losing time to Gutierrez? Or maybe let me correct myself. He is in the 43 when it comes to the straight line. As soon as they reach the corners, he goes down to 45. So he's playing between those times, which tells us that his setup is
that's due to the
speed-based
positioning. Because when Nick is on the straight, John is on the technical part and reverse. So probably that's why you see the gap doing a bit of stretch and close. But Paulo under the second right now, so Nick Newcomb in a bit of a problem. I mean, not problem, but he's probably starting to feel a bit drop on the tires, but not for Paulo. Look at how much Paulo's gaining right now on Nick.
He is. He's definitely gaining, and Nick himself is gaining on Gutierrez because right now he's down to 44 in the corner part or like the curve part of the track. But when it comes to the straight line, you will notice that he goes down all the way to 42 seconds because of the I believe the setup based of Nick is purely based on top speed, so less aerodynamics.
You're not getting 3 seconds just on the straight.
I mean,
I think that the difference is on the track positioning. Yeah, that you see the gap stretching and closing just because of the track positioning of the cars. Because right now, Johnny, look at that. Johnny is in the driving part of the track. He has on brakes while Nick is on the fast part. So you see the gap closing just because, they are on the same parts. It's difficult to check on the gaps when you have a truck like this. But anyway, I think that Johnny is no match for anybody else unless our curse decides
speaking of the devil,
to kill somebody else.
Somebody
You know,
get this man a gun.
it was probably moving to let the LMP2 drop.
I would
The
I would
LMP2
consider that
fly.
I would consider that a shotgun shot, Ricardo. It was literally shot in the face. So that curse, whatever reload you got there, I need that. That looked pretty effective because the moment you spoke, Johnny was like he literally like Jesus took the wheel and decided to go to the left. Very very interesting. But he didn't lose much time. Actually, I believe he didn't lose any time at all. But Tempera still hunting Nick Newcomb and the LMP, as we seem to be forgetting about him a little bit. There's just nothing much happening there besides Talviti still within 8 seconds, or sorry, Salvi still within 8 seconds of Talviti. Talviti should be pretty happy now because he was chasing Salvi in the early stage of the race, and it seems like he wasn't able to reach him. But after what
Guys,
happened, and the
sorry to cut you off now, but oh my god, yes.
wow,
So John Villegas was right, keeping the overcut, sorry. So Kyle Graff has to do everything again, and considering that it took 1 hour to him to figure out how to overtake John Villegas, and he's now he now has 20 minutes to get John and then overtake him. This
first
is
we gotta get
quite.
closer.
He's flying though. He's really flying. I think yes, he's in line to do the best, the fastest lap on the GT3. Let's see if he can pull that off. He was beat in front of Johnny Gutierrez's time because he was 2 seconds quicker. Let's see right now if he
I
can.
mean, take a look at the graph, Ricardo. He's 1.2 seconds faster, so he's getting closer and closer, and he's about 3 seconds behind. So
Yeah, but we know that just reaching your opponent is not enough.
oh, there we go! Christmas time. Now we can see all the other cars. Beautiful. What a breath of fresh air. Our Factor 2, thank you very much for putting us through all these trouble and finally giving us a present. Feels like a parenting.
Look at Tempera, look at Tempera! Tempera! Probably Nick Newcomb is getting saved by his setup. Seems to be really fast on the straight. Let's see if Tempera is going to try on something. Whether the Porsche mark on the Ferrari? That's something I don't know. Oh, Nick.
You're starting to ask so many questions, Ricardo. You don't ask about that. You don't ask about other logos in different cars.
So we have the fight between the Porsche of Nick Newcomb and the Porsche Ferrari from Paulo Tempera.
It's a secret deal. You should know about it, Ricardo.
Yeah, you're right.
Don't get your nose into the rabbit hole.
Yeah, probably a bit of yeah. It's really bad. It seems that Ferrari doesn't, even because Esteves too was having problems on the straight. Look at Paulo.
And they've got traffic. Mark Hightree is right behind him. He's gonna try to make his way. So let's see if this. Look at what the hell? We got a bandit right there.
That was a. No,
I was waiting for eastbound and down.
Please be careful. Please.
Well, Ricardo, you saw Mark. I mean, Ricardo, I have to tell you this. It's the night, and Mark Hightree decided to go in the dirt, so it just reminded me of moonshine trafficking. So just started singing eastbound and down.
Absolutely. It was speeding,
Wow.
P2 and Middleton again.
Looks like everybody decided to do a pitting party.
Tony was coming out of the pits, yes, right now, so gained a lot on Lewis Middleton.
He did 16.5 seconds when he stopped in his pit box.
And
That's very
still
fast.
didn't beat. Just fuel for Tony, probably on a harder compound. or maybe repairing if he had made a mistake. Yeah, I think that
Yeah, Middleton is taking too much time.
yeah, I think he's repairing, probably.
That's not smart to do while you have
No,
18
wait, he just ended 36 seconds. I don't know if on the server the fuel and the tires are changed together. That's something I don't know.
They do. They are changed together. They are. They're combined. So if you get 30
Oh, they are
second of,
combined, so
yes.
yeah.
So if you get 30
So
second
30
fuel
seconds.
and 20-second, they are combined.
Yeah, so I think that the 30 seconds was.
A penalty for Patterson, which
Yeah,
is
and oh,
a
DNF by
DNF.
Bali.
Yeah, I was gonna mention
Roberto
that.
Bali DNF'd.
Ooh, aggressive flashing by Tanner Selby. I think he just wants to do the overcut and see if how that works for him. But right now he's aggressively flashing those lights. Get out of my way. I'm trying to get past you. Watch out for me. I'm taking the left here and I'm pushing you a little bit and making it very dangerous. But still, I'm going to stay in P1. Not trying to be biased, but Talviti is just being aggressive right now. And that is very much understandable.
That was, oh my god, Tanner. And look, look who we have here. I mean,
Yeah,
like nothing didn't happen.
it's like all the stars aligned once again. The unfinished battle of two-man Vidigast Kahel Graf started from the race. Two warriors are fighting right now. Who's gonna be the victorious? Like we said in the beginning of the race, we don't know because Graf
Look,
did it once and has to do it once again.
Grimes seems really on. I don't know what to say.
I mean, there's pretty much nothing to say but to watch this glorious battle happening right now between Vidigest and Graf. Graf doing everything he can to his best to try to take the position. He took once, so this man has to do the job twice to prove himself. I believe the pit he followed, the strategy he followed didn't fall on his side, but nonetheless, the man is not giving up. He wants that position and he wants to take it.
Absolutely pass. And at least these two get some pepper to the added some pepper to the race. Touched a bit of tissue.
What happened? Oh no, Oh, he's going there. Oh no, that's very hard to. That's
I
hard
think
to
this is
watch.
gonna be a DNF for Kyle Graf.
That's hard to watch. Oh, come on, man. I was enjoying that. It was a lot of fun. Very, very, very. That's very sad to watch. Wow. It was great while it lasted. But this is racing, and things like that happen as Talviti get past Selvi as he's pitting right now.
And another penalty.
A penalty again for Selvi. What has this man done in his life to deserve all these penalties? Oh my god, the curse.
Another speeding into the pit lane.
Oh no, Sam, you've given me the Vietnam flashback right now. I don't know if you guys can hear our director. You can't, he just told me, but Sam gave me, our director, gave me a flashback of, I like speaking about it makes me feel like...
I was thinking, guys, sorry to cut you off, but practically half of the pack of the GT3 has DNF'd. That's quite a strange view.
I mean, it's the first race, Ricardo. It's a hard track. Well, it seems like Middleton will get P2. Because the moment... I think Harper could be in the line. I don't know what penalty he got. Could be... It's a drive-through. We got information that it's a drive-through, Ricardo.
Yeah, probably another speeding into the pit lane for Tanner at this point. It's actually No, maybe it's a stop and go. Oh, no. Seems to be Tanner.
Wow. Yeah,
That,
Selby
that
just
seemed to
started.
me, yeah, that seemed to me like more of a bug, probably. It's strange, but
I don't think
anyway,
it's a bug. It's just like he speeded in the pit lane. If it was a bug, everybody else would have got it, and it seems like he's the only one who's getting it. So
as we
that's
speak, guys, we still have a fight open. Look at Nick Newcomb fighting Paulo Tempera for the last 10 minutes. We are going to have an open fight for the last 10 minutes, hoping that it's not going to end like Braff and Vitigas one.
we hope not. Well, Tony
Look
is.
at Paulo
Oh my
on the
lord!
outside.
He just wants to get that position. He doesn't care now how. He just wants it so bad. Nick Newcomb suffered a lot this race.
The bad thing is that his Ferrari is suffering a lot on the top speed. Look at the noise. Hear the noise of the engine, Porsche engine.
This battle is far from over, I
Look
would
how
say.
much Paulo's suffering on the straight. Nick is gaining. Look, he gained almost 1/10 without the draft. So maybe too much wing for Paulo, or maybe it's a problem from. I mean, probably. Look at the difference there. No, look at the speed of Nick Newcomb. Look. So the Porsche seems to be better than Porsche Ferrari, actually. And yeah, this is frustrating. This is really frustrating as a driver because you have to do the overtake.
Yeah, and the tires are
Inside the
not helping
corner.
too.
No, but you have to make the overtake
He's
on
probably
the
gonna.
braking or in the middle of the corner.
He's probably gonna make it here. He's probably gonna make it. They're side by side right now, but I don't know. Nick Newcomb has just that long outside track that he could pretty much recover all what he lost from the entry.
No.
Oh, we get this action camera. Look at that, Paulo Tampere swarming back, trying to get closer and closer, trying to get that P2 from Nick Newcomb, who Nick actually lost his P1. So now he's sitting in the second position, does not want to let go of it, but Paulo Tampere got nothing to lose. And 10 minutes left for this race to end. But how is it going to end? We're about to find out.
That Nick has to keep doing what he's doing now. So defend the inside on the technical part and pull away on the. Look at how much he's gaining right now. But yeah, I think he can, but I don't know. But it seems strange because it felt like Esteves Ferrari had the same problem, so a bit too slow on the top speed. So probably the BOP has damaged the Ferrari in that sense. I don't know what you think about that, guys.
I think so many things changed, and we can't know for sure until.
Look on the
Yeah,
braking comparison
so close.
to have the upper end on the slow part of the truck. So maybe it's not the engine more wing, yeah.
Well, I don't
But
know
as
how
a
this is.
driver, as we know, it's a bit frustrating because you have your opponent there and you have to find a way past him, but you can't go in next to him because on the straight he is too fast. So you have to think of something. Paulo has really to, catch a rabbit from a cylinder. I don't know if it's said so in English.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. But yeah, he's so close. I don't think he just needs to calm down and find a better, not find a better position, opportunity. I would say to overtake and not rush it, because the big mistake you can do now is rush it and try to overtake in a place where you're not meant to be, or you
Here
could put.
at the Le Mans chicane, let's see. Yeah, Paulo has a better line there, probably due to the more wing he has, can brake better and turn better. But Nick is almost untouchable on the straight. I think, yeah, if Paulo has to do it, has to do it now, because I don't know if he's going to have another chance. Let's see if he can manage something. If he has an ace up of his sleeve. Yeah, Nick's doing a great job defending the side.
Yeah, this is so exciting to watch on. I'm fully invested here, and I don't know how this is gonna end because they're so close. And I believe like Paulo Tampere is following what I said of just staying calm and find the best opportunity to overtake. You should never rush this. Never. So it's getting closer and closer as we see the LMP cars.
Harper. Oh no, I was thinking that Andrew Harper was fighting with Paul Morris, but actually Paul Morris is, yes, one place behind Harper, but one lap down, so no fight there.
Indeed. But those
I
traffic
think
didn't
that
seem.
I think that this fight is gonna bring us to the end,
I hope not,
unless
because
something
look at
happens.
that. Paulo Tampera is on the upside, or the high side of the banking. I don't know if that's gonna do much, because you need to be on the lower.
Tempera's really desperate. Look how aggressive the 488 looks
Indeed.
in the exhaust of Nick Newcomb. What would you do, guys?
I would dive bomb.
So 2 out of 3 guys would dive bomb. I'm gonna be the third guy who dive bombs.
Yeah, I mean, because like it's 5 minutes, and if that thing works, I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying you should dive bomb, but it's an option. And it seems like the chicane, as our director mentioned, is the best opportunity to do, and I absolutely agree with that. It just comes down to how are you going to do it? You need a very good exit. So what he needs to do right now is check this out. The corner they're coming to, he needs to
Momentum.
focus
He
on
has
his
the
exit.
momentum. No, he
He needs
doesn't.
to. He look at that. He is focused on the exit, but it's not too good because look at the speed of that Porsche. He's not too far, but the speed of that Porsche makes it too difficult to get a pass. And Tony Talvitia right now is giving a split stream to Nick Newcomb, which will help even more.
They're coming once again to the Le Mans chicane. Remember, I was saying before that the chicane was before named bus stop, but they changed the name this year. Yeah, but still, Newcomb is able to pull away on the straight. Look, Sam. Sam, remember that you are unmuted. So we are talking with you, and you are muted. Fuck you, Sam. Oh, sorry.
Well, that was a
Came out of voice.
PG-18 moment. We apologize for that.
Sorry. But we were speaking with Sam and talking with Sam, thinking he was unmuted, but he actually was muted. So I was saying, I will try to end up saying that that, oh, look at Tempera again.
It seems like we've been focusing so much on this two drivers, but on the other hand, VD Guest is also getting closer to Kogalo, who now is within a second as well as trying to make his way through.
For Paulo.
Let's see how this pans out at the end.
Yeah, John Zuri closing the gap there.
Well, VD Guest, as I said,
Oh, yes, the rush. Yes, the rush now. On the outside. Can he do this? No, he can. What is he gonna try? I think because Nick's too fast. On the rover. Better exit. Nick's defending. Oh, no, 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 no. So this is the end of the fight, probably. Yeah, I think it is. Anyway, thank you. And Giddy Gas, by the way. Yeah, so even Koglo has problem on the top speed, so because Vidigas got past him really easily. So probably, yeah, seems the same situation. Yeah, so probably the Ferrari has problem on the engine right now. Or maybe it's Koglo that it's not quick as John Vidigas. Probably a bit of both. Anyway, as I was saying, as I was trying to say, like for 3 times, but the battle that was on the track was getting me away. The chicane at the end of the track, which was which was called the bus stop, is now called the Le Mans chicane due to the how is it called, the collaboration between Le Mans and ACO, which is with IMSA and ACO. IMSA that really is the organizer of the IMSA Racing Series in North America, and ACO, which is the organizer of the 24 Hour of Le Mans, decided to collaborate, and in order to honor this collaboration, they decided to change names into these two beautiful circuits. So the bus stop here has been renamed the Le Mans chicane, and the Dunlop chicane, which is the first chicane in Le Mans, was renamed as the Daytona chicane. So as we speak, we have finished the time races. This is the last lap for Tony Talvice.
I'm just glad I made it back in time, Ricardo. I have to cut you off because my PC decided to give up on me, but luckily I made it back just in time.
Yeah, just in time to see Tony probably winning. I don't see anything that can happen on the bank on a full. As I speak, a bit of movement there. So Tony Talvice is securing his first place on the first race of the IMSA Racing Series from SRO. Good win, good job from Tony. What can you add, Nas?
I think this was a great race. I believe that at the end, Samir's curse does prove to be weak, and I would say
Yeah,
dog
because he's not.
shit. I would say his curse is dog shit. So it's just good for him. And the winner of GG3 is Gutierrez, I believe. Lewis Middleton is finishing his race by pitting, which is very odd. So lucky for him, Andrew Harper. Did he cross the finish line? Oh, we believe he did. Yes. Such a great race today. A lot of DNF in the GT3 class. But see Juni Gutierrez, I don't know if he crossed the finish line yet. I believe not because he's going full speed. So we get the information that he didn't. So he's about to win his race because he's about to lap Andreas Seibel actually. So
Well,
watching him go through the what used to be called the bus chicane, making his way now to the finish line as Andrew. Also, great results for Andrew, by the way, who's getting a podium, which is very
absolutely.
nice. Nick Newcomb manages to keep Paolo right behind him as he already finished the race and got the P2. Johnny Gutierrez, since he was far ahead because of the superb strategy he pulled in this race, which I believe people will start taking notes, so it will no longer be a surprise anymore. Gutierrez, once again, no surprise, takes the win. Actually, didn't start from the pole position, but still manages to secure a win. And yeah, we're gonna go up. We're gonna go through the results once everybody else finishes. But great race today, isn't it?
Yeah, very fun one, especially from the GT class. LMP2 spread pretty fast, pretty quickly. But the GT3 class gave us a lot to talk about. So I'm happy with that. It was a nice race. So it seems that we are having some problems. Thank you, our
Yeah,
Factor 2.
it will be fixed. It will be
Oh
fixed.
wait, no, we have no.
It's
Well, it's like hide
you need
hide and
something to
seek.
stop the time, pretty much, because you get a
It's like a
glimpse.
game of hide and seek. So now
Well,
we have to be
nonetheless,
fast. So Tony Dalvici was P1 and P2 for Lewis Middleton and P3 for Lewis Harper, Andrew
very,
Harper.
very,
Sorry.
very professional, Ricardo. Very professional. Wow, I like it. Well, nonetheless, we're gonna get you the results anyway from other sources uh, in a second. So we got Tony Talviti, the winner of the LMP2, followed by Phil Brown, who is not part of this race, so he's not part of the LMP2. It's just the live racers acting up on me. Lewis Middleton, actually, who takes the P2 in the Oreca today in LMP2. He actually had a pretty good race, but unfortunately, he had to settle for the P2 because Tony Talviti is the man who took all the advantage today from Tanner Selby, who got 3 penalties, I believe, indeed, as somehow he is in P3 here in my grid for some reason. But
A bit of a bug. So
indeed. But we've got the results right
basically,
here. Tony Talviti, it's
so
P1 indeed.
basically,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, I
So
got it. I
basically,
got it.
we know that Johnny Gutierrez won in GT3
Mm-hmm.
and Tony won in LMP2, and that's enough.
Indeed. So Tony Talviti, the winner, followed by Lewis Middleton in P2, Andrew Harper sitting in P3, Paul Morris
Paul
sitting in
Morris,
P4,
yeah.
and Mark Hightree sitting in P5. Going to the GT3 class, Johnny Gutierrez finishes the first in his class, sitting in a beautiful P1, followed by Nick Newcomb, who started first but finishes second after defending really well against Paulo Tampera, who himself finished in P3. Bear Eriksson Vidigues settles in P4 and P5. Filippo settles in P6. Ed Jones in P7. And Andreas Seibel P8. Pasha Patterson P9. The rest of the grid all DNF'd. So this was an interesting race. It was fairly had its own fair share of action and DNF'd, which were a lot of them. I mean, we've got so many DNFs, including Estevez, Rizzo, Robin Tyler, and so many. And it was very unfortunate to see that. But hopefully they don't get too demotivated and show up for the next race and give it a shot once again. What do you think? What do you think, Ricard?
Issue was a fun race. The track helps. I mean, Daytona is a track where you can be close one another, thanks to the draft and the bump draft. Um, so I think that we saw a pretty fun race. A lot of fights, a lot of battles. Not to mention the big battle throughout all the race between Vidiguest and the new driver. Kyle Graf. I hope to see another good race. Where's the next one?
It's gonna be I'll get that to you in a second. But if I'm not mistaken, it is Long Beach, indeed.
Oh, the good track they added on R Factor 2 Long Beach. Yeah, it's gonna be tough, I think. It's, I mean, it's probably one of the two of the maybe the only um, street circuit I actually like. It's
It is
going to
actually very
be
fun. I
interesting.
love this
It's
track
going to
too.
be it's going to be interesting to see what they can pull off around Long Beach.
For a GT3 car, I pretty much love this track. I've been through it. I've practiced with it for with a good friend of mine, Will Caligari. It's very fun because you get the wall, the excitement of running next to the wall and not touching it and knowing that you're absolutely on the limit is so satisfying. So I believe it's going to be very fun to be in this track. Hopefully the other drivers acknowledge that, and because we've got 29 sign up for it, and I'm sure people will show up for it.
Absolutely. As we got reached by John. John,
Hi guys. Well,
hi,
what a
hi,
sad beginning of the race, wasn't it? All those guys
absolutely.
discoing out of the server.
No,
Uh, we had 26 or 25, and then 3 guys were disconnected. I was thinking about restarting the race to let those guys in again, but you really can't do that because you only create confusion, you know. So just let it go on and let it take its course. But I'm real sorry for those 3 guys. Gilles da Silva, one of them, my buddy, also discount. Okay, but how was the race for you?
To me personally, it had its ups and downs. It was pretty much like a story that we watched people getting penalties. Speaking Tanner Selvi, we've watched people losing their pole position and settling for P2, actually having to fight for it. It was very interesting to me, and it surely had its own ups and downs, but very fun to watch indeed.
Uh huh.
absolutely. The P2 class was a bit more boring. They spread up pretty quickly.
Uh
Um,
huh.
but the GT pack was quite a challenge because it was a very tight pack at the start, and then we have a couple of battles which portrayed throughout all the race. One
Yeah.
was you and Kyle, an amazing fight by you two. Another one was Paulo and Nick for P2, and what else can I remember? Probably Kogolo and Barrett. Can it be?
Yeah. Bernard Erickson. That is one crafty American. How did that guy jump me in the pit stop? He was like 7 seconds behind me before the pit stops, and when I came out, he was 7 seconds in front of me. So I wonder how he did that. That was very clever of him.
Yeah, but you managed to
Maybe
actually take the position from Graf. You gave him a very tough fight today, didn't you?
certainly did, because at the end of the stint of the first stint, with I had about 15 liters left, and I thought at that point before the chicane he was sort of alongside me. I thought, okay, I'm just gonna let him go now because I want to have a clean run to my pit stop, and I don't want to fight anymore because he was getting a bit aggressive. I think he lost his patience with me because I saw that he was a little bit faster, and I think he lost his patience with me because I wasn't gonna let him pass, and uh, he didn't have the opportunity to pass me because I was pretty good in defending him. But then he started making contact, and I don't know from my view of the car if how did you see that? Did I obstruct him in any way? Was it my fault? I don't know.
I mean, I think from our point of view, you were being a little aggressive, but
Me?
it's yes, just a tiny bit.
Okay. Why?
But that's I can't. Fortunately, I don't know how to
You,
answer that.
You can just say it honestly to me. I'm just trying to learn because from my view from the cockpit, I was
Yeah.
ahead of him and I was just taking my line because I have the right of the line if I'm ahead. So
Actually, I would have to look. I have to look at it again because I lost the full image of what happened because so many things happened. But from what I
okay,
remember, from my mind, you were aggressive to your right. I wouldn't say like you were doing something wrong, but you had that aggressive side of you, not to the fullest, but you were definitely trying to put. I don't know how to explain. I have to look at it again to answer you properly. But just from my very weak memory.
well, I can understand Carl because he wants to pass me, and I can fully understand that. But you have to be you have to be in front with your nose in front of my car. If he was in front of me, I would have let him go, but he was not in front. So in my view, he tried to force the issue by forcing his way through because he was fed up with me because I was defending and he was a bit quicker than me. I can understand that. But if I'm ahead, then the right of the line is mine. I have the right of the line and I can take the corner. So if he tries to steer in anyway, yeah, then we're gonna make contact.
Yeah, I
That's how
mean,
I view it.
in the heat of the moment, VDGuest, like things happen, and I believe like you judged it based on what you thought was right, but the other drivers, you don't know what they have on their saying. But for me, like I said, I definitely have to look at that again because it's not easy to just say a quick judge on it because from what
Okay, but this
yeah,
is without looking at the replay. I'm gonna look at the
yes,
replay, and if I'm at fault anywhere, I'm the first one to admit it and apologize to Carl. Because I like to play fair, but fair also means that that you can take your right where you think you have a right to take the line. And I was in the uh, assumption that I was in front of him and I could take the corner. So, but if I'm wrong, I'm gonna watch the replay. If I'm wrong, if I was too aggressive where he had the corner already, then I'm gonna apologize. But I really don't think so because he never once was in a position where he was ahead of me. I'm gonna have to look at it. So we're gonna do the poll for the next event to shorten the race by 1 hour. Uh, they don't know that yet, but I'm gonna set the poll up and see what they think about it. So if the majority wants to drive for 1 hour, we're gonna do 1 hour, and if the majority wants to leave it at 90 minutes, then we're going to leave it at 90 minutes. How's that?
that's what I call proper democracy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Johnny Gutierrez was driving all on his own.
Say that again, John.
Johnny Gutierrez was driving all on his own. He was ahead of the whole pack.
So pretty much he took the lead from Nick Newcomb, who we have here to, which probably I'm gonna thank you for that because I'm gonna have to ask him that. Nick Newcomb started first, but Gutierrez manages to take that from him and pretty much led the race from there on all the way to the end. His pit stop was spectacular. So I don't know what was it a mistake from Nick or just Gutierrez just
And
had
he's
a
here.
beautiful. He is Nick Newcomb. He is with us. If he
Let,
can
Yeah.
elaborate on that.
let him speak then. Go, take the floor, Nick.
Yeah. Lap 9, I think you might want to have a look at that. Turn 1. Nice little bump pass. Knocked me off track, and then I lost second spot as well to one of the Ferrari drivers. So that caused left rear damage. And because of that, I was loose. Even it was awful in the chicane and turn 1. So I just had to handle it. Originally, I was gonna not fix the damage, but I had to really, and then I just floored it and came out unbelievably after the pit stop. I came out second, but I was like a minute odd down from yourself, Johnny Gutierrez, and everybody like that. But when the pit stops rolled through, I was 45 seconds behind Johnny, and then I got it down to 40, and then I was in a huge battle with another Paulo Pantera, I think something like that.
Tempera,
from the
Tempera.
from the band. Yeah,
Yeah,
Pablo Tempera, who was just. I,
that's a cool name. I think
yeah,
you
I
might want to
know.
just change.
I know. I think it was about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I think something like that. I came out. He was leaving the pits as I was coming round turn two, and it was just like that. And then he made a mistake with about 3 minutes to go. I think he tried to go on the inside and hit the grass or something. But the move wasn't on where he tried to take it. It was like the kink at turn two and three. But I don't know. It was a late move that took the lead, and obviously then I went off into the dirt and had to recover the car, and I lost second spot as well. So I went down to
Wow.
I went down to
So,
third. And
so Nick,
yeah,
if I can cut you, you're saying that you lost position based on Johnny pushing you, if I'm
yeah,
correct.
yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that's a
And
statement.
that's how I lost the lead. And yeah, it was close. I'm not saying I would have won, but um,
Definitely the
fix it.
changes were taken
It
out.
changed. Yeah, it changed the race because my pit stop would have been fast as well, and I had the right tires, and like I think me and Johnny, I was doing 45s after um, my pit stop, so I was flying, and I think me and Johnny were doing the fastest laps if it's checked. I think I ended up with a 45.7. He ended up with a 45.6. So, and most of my laps were around the 45 and 46 low, and that was having us in a battle with Paolo. So I don't know. I don't know. It would have been tight, but the car's fast, and unfortunately, it's not so fast when you're damaged.
You also had an interesting setup, Nick. Your car was flying in the straights. I don't know what setup you've got, but it seems like it had the lowest possible aerodynamics, isn't it?
Yeah,
What was your
it's
top speed then?
281,
Wow.
280 at the line,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
that's on hard and
Holy.
on hard tires. Yeah, it's
You know what surprised me? That the slipstream isn't so efficient as I thought.
well, Paolo thought he came alongside about two or three times, and obviously I just towed the line, and he just couldn't pass. The
Aha.
the setup's been tested. We've got a 24-hour race in 2 weeks, so it's the setup from there. So I'll be reporting back, and there's a few tweaks we need to make it better.
Okay.
But it's
Well,
fast.
you're gonna have a second chance on Long Beach. I think that will be a more interesting race because there's a lot more corners and driving craft to be exhibited.
Yeah, we've got a setup for that as well
Yeah.
already.
Okay, guys, I'm signing off, and I wish you all the luck. And until next time.
Yeah,
Absolutely, John. We
yeah,
appreciated you
Okay.
joining us.
yeah. Thanks,
Yeah,
Johnny. I'll be putting in a protest. Don't worry. You'll get it on
Uh,
Monday night.
well, I'm not worried about protests. It's up to you to make them. If you think it's valid, then please do, and
Oh,
we'll
it's valid.
we're gonna judge it with two other admins because I'm not gonna be in the panel of admins because people might say I'm biased because I'm also in the race. So I'm gonna leave it to them. I'm gonna pass it on to them and they can judge it. Okay.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I'll watch it back
Okay.
myself. No
Bye
bother.
bye.
Take
have a
care.
good one, John. And yeah, that's what we heard from the drivers today from Nick and John. Nick is still with us, but yeah, if you have anything more to elaborate on, Nick, please feel free to go ahead.
No, it was just a good race. I think yeah, the night races. It was pretty good spotting the turns. It's a different track to the obviously the official one, especially the chicane itself. It's flatter, so I was able to lower the car a little bit from the official track setup that we've got. I took it down a couple of notches, and that got the extra speed. So I noticed the high speed was different at this track. And apart from that, I'll have to learn Long Beach.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask you about that. Are you ready for the Long Beach race? Are you excited?
Yeah, I like the track. I mean, obviously drove it in the old days in R Factor 1 in the IMSA, sort of like based league that I was in then. Uh, and yeah, it's a good little track, but I'll definitely be having a go at the R Factor 2 version and having fun. And hopefully I can block the track a little bit more with a big old Porsche back end. So that's the
I'd
main job.
I'd love to hear that. Can't wait to see you there, Nick Newcomb, and we definitely are looking forward to that. Looking forward to see what's gonna happen in Long Beach, one of my favorite tracks where I practiced a lot and learned, and made pretty much all my skills to what they are right now. Definitely not bragging because I'm not driving right now, and I won't be driving anytime soon. But indeed, Long Beach is a track to look out for. We advise everybody who's watching, or is actually still watching with us, to go check out that race when we will stream it very, very soon. I believe in 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Indeed, it was an awesome race. We once again thank simracingonline.co.uk for the opportunity of bringing this race for us to broadcast, for you guys to watch. We advise you to check out their YouTube channel. All the races with it are stored in their YouTube channel, including many series. So go ahead and filter and watch what suits you. Everything is there. All the actions should be highlighted there. Indeed, last but not least, if you want to take part in this race, you can sign up for free in simracingonline.co.uk. Pick up the mod. The tracks are free, but the mod is paid. So you're going to have to buy the GT3 pack, I believe the LMP2, and then you will be able to take part in this series with all everything else. The rest should be free indeed, including hosting and everything. So pretty much the website is free. All you got to do is get the mod. Last but not least, don't forget to give us a follow. Don't forget to subscribe if you could too as well. We appreciate it as well. Visit our Discord. We have so many things. We provide liveries as well. Go ahead and check that out. Feel free to get a custom livery for you for a very, very small fee that you will probably like. We have our Fiverr in there indeed. And yeah, that was it. We appreciate everybody else. I appreciate my teammates who've been with me in this race. Samir Arshad directing, Lorenzo and Ricardo commentating with me. We appreciate Nick and John for joining us for the interview, and we appreciate all the viewers. We hope to see you in Long Beach. Have a good night, good morning, or good evening, whatever you are, and goodbye.